This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
This ain't Texas, ain't no hold'em. Lay our cards down, 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 down. So pop your Lexus,
Put your keys up. Oh, come on now. No one's into it but me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank
here
you,
for it.
Kelly. Thank you. Welcome to DBL. That was
Yes.
Beyonce's hit country song, Texas Hold'em, which was already topped, of course, the Billboard country charts. Beyonce's hotly anticipated album, Cowboy Carter, drops tonight at midnight. Yesterday, she teased us all by dropping the track list. There are 27 titles, including Jolene. The list also seems to confirm collaborations with some major country stars like Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, and Linda Martell. Now, while there is a ton of excitement among Beyonce fans for her big move to country, here's the question. Is the country music industry, ready for Beyonce? And before we get to that, in 2015, radio consultant Keith Hill, I don't know if Erica or anyone knows him, had a tomato gate, it's called. And this is what he said, quote, "If you want to make ratings in country music, take females out. They're just not the lettuce in our salad. The tomatoes of our salad are the females." First of all, I don't know what that means.
I don't know
about
what
the
that
salad,
means.
but clearly trying to butt them out is not the main part of country music. What do you think about that?
I don't know if my mic's on.
Oh,
Is it?
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, it is?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's what I was
can't hear
thinking in the
anything.
beginning of the show when she was dancing. I was like worried about if your thing
Yeah.
Thank
like,
goodness, because there would be conspiracies. They silenced the black woman during the country.
Yes.
Nobody was dancing for Beyonce.
Erica, don't
I was
speak.
like, I can't hear. Okay. Here's the thing. So I was in radio, and I consider myself always a radio girl for almost 2 decades. And I remember having a conversation with a superior, and I was expressing my feelings about making, like, I think at the time, like, 10% of what my male counterparts were making. And he said, if you want to make that type of money, you'll have to go somewhere else because women don't make that type of money in radio. And I was like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, because radio is a male driven industry. And I said, well, just because there hasn't been necessarily a female who's gotten to those heights, and there have been. I mean, there's, the Ellen K's and oh gosh, I'm having a brain fart about Howard Stern. Robin Quivers.
Right.
But then again, they're also, a part to a male in some point.
Right.
So that's just always been a very antiquated, long-standing feeling about women on the air,
In country
driving
music.
the air, producing the air
Wow.
in general.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. Beyonce, when asked, is this a country album? She said, no, this is not a country album. This is a Beyonce album. Do you think she will take all of this power and not even go to the CMAs and make this her own genre of sort of Beyonce country? Because she was hurt by the Chicks performance she had at the CMAs, and says, this is in response. It's been a 5-year lead up to this. What do you think about that?
I mean, well, we've kind of seen this in every genre. We never thought, Jeff, we'd live in an era where an individual can become bigger than the actual, platform in which they were originally introduced. Somebody like Beyonce is bigger than
right.
the CMAs. She's bigger than, almost any singular kind of musical entity. So I think Beyonce, and what we've learned with every type of form of communication, is once you have those eyeballs and a loyal audience,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what country music is ready for, because you have your own pirate ship. If they don't like it, your fans are going to come with you regardless. And what's going to happen is they will acquiesce, Jeff, to you because they want those eyeballs and those earballs.
Yeah,
Earballs?
I said
okay,
earballs.
earballs, everybody.
I've learned 2 things in television. One, you don't say anything positive about Trump, even his performance in Home Alone 2. And 2, you do not criticize Beyonce. Those are the 2 rules
What if you're a country?
you want to get on television.
What if you're a country music person?
Here's the deal.
maybe?
Here's what I don't like. Her song's #1. How do we saying she's not accepted into country music? It's #1. The day it came out, it went #1. Her now saying it's not a country song is causing a problem. Because now if the Country Music Award says, all right, well, it's not country, well, then you're not up for any awards. How dare you not put Beyonce in that category? What is country music to do?
Well,
if you're saying you're not, all this is online BS. Let's all complain about all this stuff. Things are accepting now, okay? To say that Beyonce is not welcome to country music, I think is crazy.
Well,
I think it's crazy because her song went to #1 in 1 second.
What do you think about them deleting her performance with the Chicks?
I don't know. That was 5 years ago. A lot has changed in the last 4 years.
Even though in 2023, between 2002 and 2023, white artists averaged 96.5% of country radio airplay.
What's R&B? What's the statistics on R&B?
Right.
There's certain genres that appeal to certain demographics.
Right.
It doesn't mean that demographic is racist.
Right, but
how many rappers are there in
that?
rap? I love rap music.
Right.
What's the demographics? Why is everything demographics?
But can she?
Yes, of course she can. I just said she was #1.
I think we're missing the point,
What is it?
honestly, because when Beyonce said that it's not a country music album, it's a Beyonce album, because Beyonce has historically been able to move in and out of several different genres. That's a part of her appeal, is that she pulls from so many different genres in order
Her
to
last
make.
album was a house album,
Right. So
And her
so
Act
to
3 will be
say
a classic
that
rock.
It's not being like, well, I'm rebuking country because they rebuked me, or whatever. It's simply that's the format of Beyonce. And also, this is not new. We have been experiencing this for quite some time since content creators first came out. So many content creators are out there on YouTube, on social media, doing or independent artists. They're all doing their own thing because these big conglomerates always told these people that there was no place for you. So they did their product. Their product was good enough to not only build more revenue than they would have gotten in traditional media outlets, but they own their products, they own their brands, and they own their audience. So this is really no different. It's just the idea that this is Beyonce, and we know Beyonce because of commercial radio and because of her mainstream music. But ultimately, this is just a sign of the times. And anybody who wants to produce anything should be looking at artists like Beyonce, although this is like a very, obviously, a grand scale thing, but the concept is the same. This is the world that we're living in now.
Real quickly, I just want to put this in. We're living in 2024, okay? Lil Nas X is gay and black, and he was topping the country music
Yeah,
chart.
but they says his does not embrace
But I
enough
just
elements.
hate that we're just so divisive about everything. And you could fight. People online are going to fight, and we're going to fight up here. We have to live in the time that we're living in. And Beyonce is definitely accepted in country music award. We could fight all we want about the history and behind it, but 2024, she's definitely accepted, and she will win a country music award, even though she says it's not a country music album.
All right, if you agree or disagree with Jeff, come onto YouTube because
No, please don't.
we want to hear from you. It's coming up on DBL. Speaking of country music, we've got our interview with country star Clint Black. He's telling us all about celebrating the 35th anniversary of Killin' Time. And Steve Martin opens up about his iconic career in a new documentary. We're talking about it next.
I'll just say I don't like that we're just pinned against each other for our differences in America, just so people could talk about things online. If there's anyone to break any barriers in anything that we do, it's Beyonce. And let's just accept that. And her song was #1. It proves that everyone's like, cool, man, I'm down with it. Beyonce could do whatever she wants.
I think there's a certain part, and it's like it's weird to kind of compare it to.
Does it feel better to stand and lean?
So she didn't have to pan over. Shouldn't you be managing a Pier 1 Imports?
Find your card to say what to say in the next segment.
Yeah, I have some facts here.
I feel like I'm at Pier 1.
But I thought about college football, and like when they first started integrating back black athletes. At first it was like absolutely not, the dog game, blah, blah, blah. And then they started to join teams, and more the people that were like, I'm not going to watch anymore, maybe they didn't. But years later, it's just not a discussion anymore. And I think whenever
You don't think it's a discussion when Beyonce herself brought it up?
I think it's a discussion now.
Yeah.
I think
Because she's like, they erased my...
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about any industry, whether it was women or gay folks or people of color that entered the industry, there's enormous amount of pushback.
For sure.
I was thinking about that, remember the Cheerios commercial that had an interracial couple in it?
And people freaked
And people lost their mind,
Yeah, 'cause
and
they couldn't
now
imagine.
no one cares. And
Right.
my kids, we didn't even understand what that meant.
Right. And then it was illegal. People didn't know it was illegal.
And so that seems like it was a million years ago. It was probably 8, 10.
Yeah, and
You know?
yeah.
And I just think as time goes on, the people that are like over my dead body, those people move on, and there's always young, new people coming into the world. And I think we view the world as a static situation, but it's more like a conveyor belt. And all the people are like, I'm not gonna watch this. They go away, and their kids come, and they're like, I'll watch it.
I think there's a lot of people that.
No, we are two wild and crazy guys.
Oh man, welcome back to DBL. From his wild and crazy days on SNL to being a box office star on the big screen, Steve Martin is now the subject of a new documentary on Apple TV+, and it looks back at his start as a stand-up comic to his life today. Let's take a look.
I always thought of him as the door out of the 60s. You could be silly again.
All comedy was political, and I felt that it was time to change that.
Steve Martin has just taken the big leap onto the big screen.
I was launched into the stratosphere. I was scared out of my mind.
In the doc, Steve talks about not really having any talent, that's in quotes, not what I'm saying, and being consumed with anxiety in his 30s, but told CBS Morning he's mellowed out at 78. Take a look.
I have this theory that as you age, you either become your worst self or your best self. And I feel like I've become my better self, and I can see other people becoming their worst self. They become more hostile, they become more difficult, and it's a pretty clear line for me.
He also spoke about living his life backwards, where he started extremely anxious and had imposter syndrome all the way up, and then as he aged, things started to become calmer and more mellow, and I 100% feel that way. At 42, I'm just now starting to get it. So everybody, I think, here loves Steve Martin. Am I right?
Yeah. Big fans.
Big fans. What is your favorite movie of Mr. Martin?
This was hard because I grew up with Steve Martin. I think part of his longevity is he looks exactly the same. He looked 80
Father of the
40.
Bride. Yeah.
You know what I mean? He looked the same with the white hair. So I think that's part of it. You just recognizable. But Father of the Bride, I love. Jerk was. I almost put the Jerk
I can't
down.
believe you didn't do the
I
Jerk.
got to go in My Blue Heaven. Come on, the best lines. If you have not seen My Blue Heaven. Actually, you probably won't like it because a lot of people are jerks out there. But if you're funny and you like My Blue Heaven, go watch that. Or you like Steve Martin, go watch that movie.
He's very Sebastian Maniscalco in that. Hey,
Oh yeah,
he's very
much so.
Erica, what's your favorite Mr. Martin movie?
Bringing Down the House with Queen Latifah.
Oh, I remember that. She was like a babysitter or something.
I just remember that being a movie where our whole family sat down and watched it
like
together.
appointment movie watching.
So anytime you get that experience, it's going to be, something nostalgic.
Yeah, and his physical comedy was really out in that movie. Albert, as a stand-up comic.
For me, first of all, it's personal. I read his autobiography called Standing Up Twice. I didn't really have an idea of how famous he was. It's hard to fathom somebody being that famous. But anyway, easily Parenthood. For me, I feel like that movie still holds up in so many ways. The characters, I think everybody can find somebody in their family that is a character in that book, in that movie. So that's definitely, for me. What about you, Tor?
I don't understand why no one did The Three Amigos. My family watch this very much all the time. It's Martin Short, Chevy Chase, and Steve Martin, the best of the best. They think they're on a film. They're actually not, and it's just, to me, the best Steve Martin film out there, and shows his physical comedy and his quiet comedy, and I think it makes me good.
I will just say it's a great autobiography. Everybody should read it. It's really
Standing
awesome.
Up is what it's
Standing
called?
Up, yes.
Yeah.
Born Standing Up.
Born Standing Up.
Yes.
If you ever meet Steve Martin, by the way, he hands you a card. He doesn't want to talk to you. It just says, "You have now have proof that you've met Steve Martin," and he walks right away.
That's awesome.
It's very cool.
I have that card. People don't take them.
No, we'll be right back. No one wants them. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. It's been 35 years since Killin' Time topped the charts and launched Clint Black into country music stardom. Earlier, we talked with him about bringing the album back to celebrate its anniversary and the secret behind that cowboy hat. Take a look.
Clint, welcome back to DBL.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Oh man, good to see you too. Hi Clint, you have so many hits on your Killin' Time album, and now you're on tour performing them all over again. How does this tour feel different decades later than the first one?
Well, we're doing songs from that album that we haven't done in 35 years. You know, we've always done the hits, give or take one or two. But now we're doing from track 1 all the way through 10, the whole album in order.
Wow.
And I feel a different reaction from the audience before they get there tweeting at me and stuff, and at the show. And it felt funny at first, like, you know, I'm not sure they want to hear every song from that album.
They do.
Reaction was fantastic, and I don't always sense it because I'm busy changing guitars or getting a different harmonica into my brace and listening for the count off. But I was able to feel it.
That's amazing.
Speaking of that, Clint, do you feel pressure to just play your hits when you're at a concert? Because as an audience, we're like, just play the hits, man.
Yeah, the good thing is I have too many to do them all in one show. And so someone's always going to be disappointed. I've had people get mad, you know, that I didn't do Desperado, which wasn't even a hit for me. It was quasi-hit.
That's a jam.
That is a jam.
Yeah, I always do at least one or two deep cuts.
Nice.
They seem to be fan favorites. They get a great reaction, so we do them.
I'm just going to put it out on the table. if I came to see you and you didn't perform Desperado, I would be very
It's such a great song.
You mean
and the
Desperado about
reaction-
it.
I had a guy down front that was just really, really mad about it, and we were already walking off the stage with this guy.
It's over. That was my brother.
I'm really, really sorry.
So, Killing Time completely changed the trajectory of your career. Do you remember when you realized life was going to be different?
I do. I remember the exact moment I was driving by this, I have to say it, a crappy little bar. It was just a hole in the wall in a little strip center, and not someplace I wanted to play every night. And I was driving past it after Better Man and Killing Time had gone #1. And I remember in a flash just realizing that in my hometown, Houston, Texas, it would never be the same for me.
Wow.
Walking in that bar or any other bar I played, my life had changed. And I remember feeling a little remorse. I wouldn't have changed anything because
Right.
my dreams were coming true. But I remember lamenting that I have left something behind that I can never go back to.
How amazing to know in the
Really
moment.
I know.
thoughtful.
Yeah,
It is.
in the moment.
Okay, so you're part of a generation of country stars marked by their cowboy hats. Can you go incognito without your signature look?
I can, and it really depends on which part of the country I'm in. You know, around my where I live in Nashville, I go everywhere, and I think people are maybe tired of seeing celebrities. But you know, if I'm in Norman, Oklahoma, I might stand out a little more, and a lot of times I'm told it's the smile that gave me away. If I'm walking past someone in a grocery store and smile. Oh, I know that smile, even if they don't see the hat.
That's a good thing.
I'd recognize that cute face anyway.
What a great guy.
So sweet.
My God.
So sweet.
You, Clint, you literally have filled us all up.
Totally.
So thank you, and thank you for stopping by. DBL Nation, you can find Killing Time tour dates and locations at clintblack.com/tour. You can also purchase Raising a Hand coffee table photo books by Clint's brother in support of Rett syndrome research at raisingaHand.com. That is amazing. Thanks again, Clint.
You guys are a blast.
Thank you, sir. Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check it out. All right, Steph, what do you have for us today?
Hey Tori, hi DBL Nation. We are so excited to show you the deals today. And as ever, they are fabulous. So let's go shopping.
Yes!
First up, this is fabulous, you guys. This is the Simple Wise Jewelry Armoire with a mirror. This deal includes one armoire with an installation kit. Normally this is $130 and we're selling it today for $64.99. That's saving 50%. And then check out this. This is very handy too. It's the Hackle Mini Travel Coffee Maker.
What?
This deal includes one coffee maker and one coffee tumbler with a lid. It's available in 6 colors. There's black, red, ruby red, blue, orange, and green. Normally this is $80.
Oh, yeah, not that.
We've got it for $15. That's saving 81%, and this is so handy.
Everybody wants coffee to go, and this is such an easy, environmentally friendly way of doing it.
Absolutely, Tori, and it comes in different color options too, so guys, check those out. Next up, we've got the Cortex Beauty Airfold Ionic Foldable Dryer and 2-piece blowout brush set.
Ooh,
this deal includes one dryer with 2 brushes, available in 6 colors. Normally, this is $250.
Don't love that.
No, we have it for $44.99, which is saving 82%. And then our last product today, Tori, is the Lifestyle Advanced Infinite High Definition Wireless Headphones.
Okay.
This doorbuster deal includes one pair of headphones available in 4 colors. The doorbuster deals are always super popular, so guys, there's a limit. 3 per customer.
I like doorbusters.
Normally these are $80, but we've got them for $15.
Doorbuster!
That's saving 81%.
Head on over to morningsaves.com, y'all, to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even scan the QR code right on screen. It will take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Couldn't be easier. Thank you so much, Steph. People loving Steve Martin, Matilda, or Maldita says Parenthood. Megan says Father of the Bride. I could watch it a million times. Guess how many movies Steve Martin's made?
I'm going to say 42.
Way more.
How many
90.
do you think? 90?
What do you say?
25.
The answer? 45.
Wow. Oh,
45.
yes. All right.
Very nice job. You win my approval. DBL's new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow.